for my presentation, I will say thank you to Indra Fritriani to teach me how to make presentation. Management of sales on credit and distribution. My name is Vincent. I'm from 11A 3 and I work at Media Kreasi Bangsa. First one, what is the credit sales? Definition of cash purchase according to Denny Delany. These sellers are total amount charged to customers for medicines sold, including cash and credit sales. Sales can be defined as the process of fulfilling the needs of seller and buyer, both in cash and credit. Sales is definitely a part of business, be it the sale of goods or service. The sales process is the one of the branch must whenever business can run smoothly, and if sales have a right number, it means customer the goods or service being sold. Types of credit sales. Cash sales, which means the type of credit made in cash payment, is made by the buyer in the cash and complete the one transaction. For example, we are from the CV Media Kreasi Bangsa sell some cakes and customers who buy it pay with cash. Rami Juwita was a job advisor. Dia was a hiree, and Denny Delany was a director. 2. Sales of credit. Type of credit sale is the type of whose payment is made in installments within a certain period of time. The amount the installment of adjustment to how long the credit is taken. Usually, the seller will add interest of each installment, but there are also those without flowers. For example, we from CV Media Kreasi Bangsa profit credit sales with the condition if the one to pay installment, the buyer must pay right on materially, otherwise we will fire the purchase. 3. The related function. The functions involve the credit sales system with the company credit card area. Our credit function, sales function, warehouse function, delivery function, account function, and billing function. The first one, credit function, is a credit sales transaction without credit cards. Its function is responsible from granting credit cards to select customer. Before a customer is issued a credit card, he or she must apply to become member of the company credit card. We fill out the request from become a member. The credit function to collect information about the financial capability of prospective member by requesting a photocopy of bank statement. 3. Sales related function. The functions involved in the credit sales system with the company credit card area credit function, sales function, warehouse function, delivery function, accounting function, and billing function. 1. Credit function. In the credit sales transaction with the credit card, this function is responsible for granting credits card to select customer. Before a customer is added to the credit card, he or she must apply to become a member of the company card, fill out the request from the become a member. The credit function is to collect information about financial capability of prospective member by requesting a photocopy of a bank statement. Sales function. In a credit card sales system, the sales function is responsible for serving customers' needs for goods. The sales function fills out the credit and sales invoice to the warehouse function and the shipping function to carry out the delivery of goods to customer. C. Warehouse function. In the system, the warehouse function provides the goods needed by the customer as stated in the copy credit sales reserved from the sales function. Delivery function. This function is the responsibility of submitting goods whose quantity, quality, and specification are in accordance with those stated in the copy of the credit card sales invoice received from the sales function. Accounting function. This function is responsibility for recording transactions for increasing account receivable to customer into credit cards based on credit card sales invoice received from the shipping function. Accounting function is responsibilities of recording sales transaction in the sales journal. Billing function. This function is responsibilities for making periodic invoice to credit card holders. Characteristic of accounts. Responsibility of the characteristics of receivable be analyzed through the lag debt must be paid before agreed time. Billing function. A. This function is responsible to make periodic invoice to credit card holders. 4. Characteristics of accounts. Receivable. The characteristics of receivables can be analyzed through the length of debt that must be paid before the agreed time. Existence of material follow. The material follow is a term that describes the sum of the main transaction value then added with in the trusted value charged to the paid on the maturity date. C. Applicable interest. Receivables and occur because the buyer decides to make a transaction on credit, and this because interest is this a case of paid of consequence of the buyer asking for a certain payment time and profit for the seller great interest. Thank you. That is my presentation. Thank you.